guys, let's listen to this video.
So family planning dey kpai person. Family planning dey kpai person. Abeg, I know say I get mummies and daddies, uncle and brother, sister and auntie for here when be say some of them are doctor, some of them na nurse, well no nurse, you no understand. Me, I no understand. Somebody come work for me yesterday. I no see the man say, now go dey ask am say, wetin happen? And they call your line, no even go. You know, I even forget to collect a number. He no go. Now tell me say, tell me mommy say no be small thing, no. Something happen to Ramo. Now say, wetin happen? He say his wife don't buy. Now I say, wetin happen? Wetin happen? He say na family planning. Now I say no. Family planning not dey kpai person. You know that. Let me bring this matter close. So let me put mouth. You know that family planning. He say na family planning. Now I say, come how? Family planning not dey kpai person. I know say some people they worry them. At least your wife not do test, so they give her the family planning. You not do test. He said the wife do test.
So a lady came out and said that family planning killed a friend of his, like someone that works for her, the wife. Now, firstly, let's be clear on something right now. Family planning is generally safe for women when prescribed properly. Emphasis on when prescribed properly. This medication, these drugs, these hormonal pills, particularly hormonal contraceptive pills, are not supposed to take unprescribed. You don't just walk into a pharmacy and start taking any form of contraceptive without proper supervision from your doctor. But yes, in rare cases, some of these hormonal contraceptives can actually increase risk of blood clots, which can result to that death. The main reason of cause of death in some of these hormonal contraceptive pills mostly comes from estrogen inside some of the birth control pills. Now, let me explain this in a simple way, the way you can easily understand. You see, your blood naturally has a balance between forming a blood clot when you're injured and preventing your body from forming too much blood clots unnecessarily, because clotting is very important too. If you get caught or maybe you get injured, your blood needs to clot so that you don't bleed excessively. But the problem happens when blood clots start to form inside your body, inside some part of your body where they are not supposed to form. Now, here is where estrogen comes in. Now, listen up. So, hormonal contraceptive can make your liver to start to produce more clotting chemicals in your blood, meaning that your blood becomes slightly more likely to clot. That is, your blood can easily clot due to these hormonal contraceptives, making the liver to produce more clotting factors, more clotting chemicals in your blood. And when this happens, your blood starts to clot easily. At the same time, the body's natural ability to break down these blood clots may reduce a little. Now imagine it's like this. Your body naturally has workers that create blood clot, as they create blood clot when there's injury. And they have cleaners also that remove dangerous clots. Some of these contraceptives that contain estrogen can sometimes increase the worker. Remember, I mentioned earlier that the workers, I'm just using it as an example. The body naturally creates the workers and the cleaner. The workers are the one that creates blood clots. So in areas, in some contraceptive that has estrogen increases the workers while slowing down the cleaners. That's the cleaners that remove dangerous blood clots or excessive blood clots in the blood. So estrogen increases the workers, that increases blood clots, then slows down the cleaners that remove blood clot. That creates a higher chances of unwanted clot forming. That's unwanted blood clot forming. Now, if a blood clot forms in the leg, it is called deep vein thrombosis, that's a DVT. The scary part is that this blood clot can travel to your lungs. That is where it is more scary, because when it gets to the lungs, it can block some blood flow. This is what we call pulmonary embolism. And yes, pulmonary embolism can be life-threatening. Blood clots on your lungs, that is a very scary and life-threatening condition. But here is an important thing to take note of. To really take note of. Now listen up. There are additional risks involved when taking hormonal contraceptive pills. Yes, you heard me. the risk becomes much higher if you smoke. Maybe you're a smoker, you are overweight, you have high blood pressure, or you have an inherited clotting disorder, or maybe in the time past you have a history of blood clots. Smoking already damages your blood vessels and increases clot risk. Now imagine combining smoking and estrogen-containing contraceptives. That's all these hormonal contraceptive that contains estrogen. The chemicals in cigarettes can damage the inner lining of your blood vessels, making platelets to become thicker, and this can increase inflammation in your body. All of these changes makes clot formation more likely. Now remember I said earlier that estrogen containing contraceptive, all these hormonal contraceptive pills that contains estrogen, can also make blood clots that can make your blood clot more easily. So when smoking and estrogen are combined together, it's like adding two risk and clotting factors on top of each other. That is why doctors are especially cautious about giving estrogen containing birth control to women above 35 who are heavy smokers that smokes heavily, because the combined risk of blood clots, stroke, and heart attack becomes significantly higher. You see, so it's often not just the pill alone. Sometimes multiple risk factors combined together can result to this predicament that happens that can cause death due to contraceptive. And this is why doctors usually ask questions. They ask you a lot of questions and check your family history before prescribing these hormonal contraceptive pills. Doctors are especially cautious in women who smoke heavily, women that are above 35, women with uncontrolled hypertension, some women with severe migraines, maybe you struggle with obesity as a lady, or maybe you have an inherited clotting disorder, or you might have done surgery recently. All these factors need to be in check before giving any form of hormonal contraceptive. This is why self-prescribing hormonal contraceptive pills without proper evaluation can be actually risky. You don't take any form of contraceptive because your neighbor or maybe your friend took it, and maybe doctor prescribe it to your friend, and automatically you ask question, you say na this drugs why they take, and you start taking the drugs without proper evaluation to know if maybe you're at risk, or maybe you're due to your condition, your health condition, maybe your habit, like for those of you that smokes, that can increase more risk to these drugs that wants to, because they interact with each other. So taking them without prescription can actually put you at risk. So let's not blame it all on contraceptives. Yes, we know that contraceptive has its own side effects, has its own risk. But when you maybe have risk factors that can contribute to it also, that can put you on much higher problem. Maybe you have inherited, clotting disorder, or maybe you recently have surgery, or you're a smoker, you're above 35, you are hypertensive. All this can cause more danger to you. Now, it's important to note that not all family planning methods carry the same clot risks. For example, estrogen-containing birth control pills have higher clot risk, while for some of hormonal contraceptive methods don't even affect clotting at all. One important thing many people don't actually realize that not all family planning methods are the same. Some contraceptive contains both estrogen and progesterone. These are called combined hormonal contraceptives, and these ones are the ones that are linked to higher risk of blood clots. While some methods only contain progesterone, which is called progestin only method. This one has a lower clot risk because they don't contain estrogen, unlike the one that contains estrogen, that contains both estrogen, progesterone, that are called combined hormonal contraceptive. Then there are completely non-hormonal methods like condoms, like your condoms or Cooper IUD, which don't affect your blood clotting system at all. So when people say family planning causes this, it's important to ask what type exactly, because different contraceptive works differently and carries different risks. Now listen up. If maybe you're on any hormonal contraceptive pill and suddenly you develop chest pain, difficulty breathing, or maybe you're coughing out blood, severe headache, or unusual swelling on your leg, I want you to seek for medical attention immediately. So just a quick recap. Yes, it is possible for hormonal contraceptive pills to contribute to dangerous blood clots in rare situations, but the explanation is much more deeper than just family planning kills people. The real issue is how hormones interact with the body's clotting system, especially in people with additional risk factors. Medicine is always about balancing benefits and risks. For many women, contraceptives provide enormous benefits, including pregnancy prevention, menstrual regulation, endometriosis treatment, acne improvement, and PCOS symptoms control. But they must be used responsibly under proper medical guidance. Now, if you find this video helpful, don't just scroll. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Share this video to your friends. Bye.